Hi all, welcome to EduTech AI Prime. Today we are dealing with some important questions based on the subject code UCEST105 Algorithmic Thinking with Python. So we can move on to the first question. What is problem solving? Problem solving means finding a solution to a given task. It includes understanding the problem, planning, and executing steps. In programming, it means writing steps or algorithms to solve tasks with a computer. What are the problem solving strategies? First, understanding the problem. Identify input, output, and constraints. Breaking the problem into smaller parts. Divide and conquer. Working step by step. Use a logical sequence of actions. Choosing the right technique. Iteration, selection, formula based, etc. Testing the solution. Verify with examples. What is an algorithm? A step by step procedure to solve a problem. It must be clear, finite, and executable. Example steps to make tea. Characteristics of a good algorithm clear and unambiguous, finite number of steps, efficient, less time and memory, independent of programming language, produces correct output. Define flowchart. Why it is used. A diagrammatic representation of an algorithm using symbols, used to visualize logic clearly, helps identify errors before coding. Explain the problem solving process. First, understanding the problem. Read problem carefully. Then, planning the solution. Form algorithm or flowchart. Then, designing the algorithm. Stepwise representation. Then, implementing. Write code in Python. Testing and debugging. Fix errors. Test with examples. Then, documentation. Write comments and explanations. What are the essentials for Python programming? Python interpreter, variables and data types, indentation, keywords, basic input or output operators. What are identifiers in Python? Names given to variables, functions, and classes must start with a letter or underscore, cannot use special characters, spaces, or keywords. What are variables? Containers to store data values is known as variables. What are data types in Python? Int means integers, float means decimal numbers, str means string, bool means true or false, then list, tuple, dictionary, and set. What is indentation? Why is it important? Spaces used to define blocks of code. Python uses indentation instead of braces. Wrong indentation is equal to error. What are Python keywords? Reserved words with special meaning. Example if, else, for, while, true, false, break. Cannot be used as variables. Explain input and output functions in Python. Input takes input from user as string. Print means displays output. What are operators in Python? Arithmetic operators, relational operators, logical operators, assignment operators. Difference between algorithm and flowchart. Algorithm means written steps, easy to write, language independent. Flowchart means diagram with symbols, easier to visualize. Write the algorithm to find the largest of two numbers. Start, read A and B. If A greater than B, print A is largest, else print B is largest, then stop. Write flowchart symbols. Oval means start or stop. Parallelogram means input or output. Rectangle means process. Diamond means decision. Arrows means flow. What is debugging? The process of finding and fixing errors or bugs in code. Types of errors are syntax error, logical error, runtime error. What is the Python standard library? Collection of pre-written modules and function. Example, mat, random, date, time. What are the advantages of Python? Simple syntax, large community, portable, huge library support, faster development. What is an algorithm? A step-by-step procedure to solve a problem. It must be clear, finite, and executable. The characteristics of a good algorithm. clear and simple, finite number of steps, language independent, efficient, time and memory, produces correct output. What is a flowchart? A diagram that shows steps of an algorithm using symbols. Helps understand logic visually. Flowchart symbols. Oval, start, stop. Rectangle is process. Parallelogram, input or output. Diamond, decision. Arrow, flow of control. What is pseudocode? A high-level description of an algorithm using plain English plus programming structure. Not a programming language, easy to convert into Python code. What is the difference between algorithm versus flowchart versus pseudocode? Algorithm means written steps, flowchart means diagram, pseudocode means structural English. What are variables? Names used to store data. 8 rules for naming variables or identifiers. Start with a letter or underscore. No special characters. Cannot use keywords. Case sensitive. What is an expression? A combination of values, variables, and operators that produces a result. Types of Python operators: arithmetic operators, relational operators, logical operators, assignment operators, bitwise operators, membership operators, identity operators. What is type conversion? Implicit conversion and explicit conversion. Implicit conversion means done automatically. Explicit conversion means done using functions. What is input in Python? User to take data from user, always return string. What is output function? Print is used to display output. Python program structure. Commands, input statements, process or logic, output statements. Difference between implicit type conversion and explicit type conversion. Implicit type conversion done by Python automatically. Save. Example int plus float is float. Explicit type conversion done by programmer. May lose data. Example int of double quotes 10. What is indentation in Python? Spaces used to indicate code blocks. It is very important. Wrong indentation is equal to error. Write algorithm and flowchart for sum of two numbers. Algorithm: start, read AB, compute C is equal to A plus B, print C, stop. Then the flowchart: first start, then input, then into process, then output, then end. Write pseudocode for finding largest of three numbers. Start. Read A, B, C. If A greater than B and A greater than C, then print A is largest. Else if B greater than C, then print B is largest. Else print C is largest. End if stop. What are comments in Python? Notes in code ignored by Python helps understand program. What are Python data types? Int is whole numbers, float decimals, str test, bool means true or false, 5 list tuple dictionary set. What is selection in Python? Selection means choosing a block of code based on a condition. Done using if else, elif, nested if. Explain if statement with example. A is equal to 10. If A greater than 0, print positive. Then executes only if condition is true. Explain if else with example. Age is equal to 80. If age greater than or equal to 18, print adult. Else print minor. What is elif? Used to check multiple conditions. If x greater than 0, print positive. Elif x less than 0, print negative. Else print 0. What is nested if? If statement inside another if. If a greater than 0, if a modulus 2 is equal to 0, print positive even. What is iteration? Repeating a block of code. Two loops, for loop and while loop. What is range? Generates a sequence of numbers. Forms range of n is equal to 0 to n minus 1. Range of AB is equal to A to B minus 1. Range of A, B step. Break, continue and pass. Explain. Break means exits loop. Continue means skip current iteration. Pass means do nothing or placeholder. Write a program to print 1 to 10. For I in range 1 to 11, print I. Write a program to print the sum of first n numbers. N is equal to int of input of s is equal to 0. For I in range 1 to n plus 1. S plus is equal to I. Print of s. Write a program to print even numbers from 1 to 20. For I in range 2, 21, 2. Print of I. What is a function? A block of code that performs a task. Helps reusability. How to define a function? Def add of AB return A plus B. What are parameters and arguments? Parameter means variables in function definition. Argument means value passed while calling function. What is return statement? It sends a value back from a function. Return x into y. What is recursion? A function calling itself. Example, def fat of n. If n is equal to 0, return 1. Return n into fat of n minus 1. What are strings in Python? Sequence of characters written inside double quotes or single quotes. String operation, concatenation. In double quotes, hello plus in double quotes world. Repetition, double quotes hi into 3. Indexing, s of 0. Slicing, s of 1 is to 4. Common string methods, lower, upper, len, replace, split, strip. Write a program to count vowels in a string. S is equal to input of vowels is equal to A E I O U, capital A E I O U. Count is equal to 0 for CH in S. If CH in vowels, count plus is equal to 1, then print end of count. Check palindrome string. S is equal to input of if S is equal to S of minus 1, print palindrome, else print not palindrome. Factorial using loop. N is equal to int of input of f is equal to 1. For I in range 1 to n plus 1, f into is equal to I, print of f. Fibonacci series a b is equal to 0, 1. N is equal to int of input of for I in range of n, print of a b is equal to b, then a plus b. What is recursion? When a function calls itself, used to solve big problems by dividing into small subproblems. Example of a recursive function. Def fat of n, if n is equal to 0, return 1, return n into fat of n minus 1. What are the two parts of recursion? Base case, recursive case. Base case means stops recursion. Recursive case means function calling itself. What is the base case? The condition where recursion stops. Example in factorial, if n is equal to 0, return 1. What is Tower of Hanoi? A famous puzzle with 3 pegs and multiple disks. Move all disks from source. Its destination using a helper peg. Roll one disk at a time. Now larger disk on smaller one. Recursive solution for Tower of Hanoi. Move n-1 disk from source to helper. Move one disk from source to destination. Move n-1 disks from helper to destination. What is searching? Finding the position of an element in a list. What is linear search? Checks each element one by one, works on unsorted lists. The algorithm of a linear search. Start, read list and key. For each element, if element is equal to key, it is found. Else not found, it is stopped. Linear search, Python code. Def linear search of AR of key for I in range of len of R. If array of I is equal to key, return I, then return -1. What is binary search? Efficient searching method works only on sorted list, repeatedly divides into halves. Binary search algorithm. Start. Set low is equal to 0. High is equal to n minus 1. Find mid. If key equal to AR of mid, it is found. If key is less than AR of mid, search left half. Else search right half. Then stop. Binary search Python code. Def binary search of AR of key low high is equal to 0. Len of array of minus 1 while low is less than or equal to high, mid is equal to low plus high divided by 2. If AR of mid equal to key, return mid. If key is less than AR of mid, high is equal to mid minus 1. Else low is equal to mid plus 1, then return it minus 1. What is the difference between linear search and binary search? Linear search, it is slow. It is works on unsorted O of n. Binary search, it is fast. It needs sorted list O of log n. What is sorting? Arranging elements in ascending or descending order. Bubble sort. Compare adjacent elements. Swap if wrong order. Repeat for entire list. Bubble sort Python code. Def bubble of R n is equal to len of R. For I in range of n, for j in range of n minus I minus 1. If array of j is greater than array of j plus 1, array of j plus 1 is equal to array of j plus 1 array of j. Selection sort. Select the smallest element to place in first position. Repeat for all positions. Selection sort Python code. Def selection of array n is equal to len of array for I in range of n. Min I is equal to I for I in range of I plus 1 n. If array of j is less than array of min I is equal to j. Array of min I is equal to array of min I, array of I. Insertion sort. Insert each element into its correct place in the sorted part of the list. Insertion sort Python code. Def insertion of array for I in range 1 len of array. Key is equal to array of I. J is equal to I minus 1 while j greater than or equal to 0 and array of j is greater than a key. Array of j plus 1 is equal to array of j minus equal to 1. Array of j plus 1 is equal to key. What is time complexity? A measure of how fast an algorithm works as input size increases. Time complexities of sorting algorithms. Bubble sort. O of n square. Selection sort. O of n square. Insertion sort. O of n square. Time complexities of searching algorithms. Linear search. O of n. Binary search. O of log n. Why is binary search is faster than linear search? It divides list into halves. Searches only required half each step. Requires fewer comparisons. It is very fast.